concept of this show, Legal Libations, one of the first things that I think we all kind of came up with was this idea of entrepreneurship. Why do you guys think entrepreneurship is so important?
Part of our job is building our own brand, right? And implicit in that is entrepreneurship. And so it's important because that's literally, if we're not out there sort of making our own way, we're not making a living.
Yeah.
So that's why entrepreneurship is important. I also think that it's important because it's good to be able to just, I don't want to say rely on yourself, but just sort of build your own business.
So, I can't stress enough what you just what you said, Raquel. What stood out to me most and what I'm actually trying to master at this point is my brand. What do I want my brand to be?
Absolutely.
So if you look at one of the Nike, let's say Nike for example, you see a check mark, you automatically know that's Nike. That's their brand. You see a Jordan Jumpman symbol, you automatically know that's
So you see a bow tie, Sean Williams.
You're right, exactly. So my brand, I'm the guy. So honestly, I've been to let's say the more southern Maryland counties. Let's say Calvert County, let's say Marys County. There's not too many African American with bow ties. So if when they say the African American, gentleman with the bow tie, automatically knows it's Sean. So it's my brand, and not just my. I have a brand, or it's the guy with the bow tie, but also matching it up with excellence. Me and Princeton, we have all spoken about this as to just having excellence behind whatever you do. Not just, okay, your brand is the guy with the bow tie, or Raquel is the Latino or Latina, what's the name, Firestarter with the glasses, or the Prince that always has a sharp suit. Not just that, but also you're going to get great work out of it. It's perfection, it's excellence, and it speaks for itself. I think I was speaking to someone a while back, and they say you never see a Rolls Royce commercial or you never see a Bentley commercial. You don't have to, because it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when you just this topic, when I think of that and think of your brand, it needs to speak for itself. Before you even say anything about yourself, your brand should automatically speak for itself.
I like that a lot.
That's how I see it.
I think entrepreneurship is very important because it provides an outlet for people to be creative and to align their passions with what they do on a day-to-day basis. If you like to make baskets, go start a basket making business.
And do the best you can.
Exactly.
Make the best baskets.
Actually, it should be called Best Baskets.
And all the stuff with the marketing and branding, all that is the creative side of it, and that can be really, really fun if you allow it to.
Sure.
I noticed that there's one thing that every entrepreneurship kind of talks about and kind of really reiterates, and it's this idea of hustle. How would you guys say that hustle is related to entrepreneurship? And, how does that look for you guys in your day-to-day practice?
I feel like hustle and entrepreneurship go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. You're on most of the time. Yeah. If I get a phone call Saturday night from a client, I'm going to answer that phone call because guess what? Or a potential client, I'm going to answer because if I don't answer, they're going to go to someone else.
Exactly.
Maybe you, and I'll be like, hey, give them back. But they go hand in hand, and the hustle can be really, really fun. It's literally from the minute that I get in my car, that's when I start the hustle. I'm giving out my cars at gas stations because taxi drivers like, let me get your car. And then sometimes it's actually not. Hey, you're going to take us to dinner. I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. That's you. But it's you gotta live and breathe it.
Yeah.
I have to echo what Raquel says. She hit it right in the head. It's the same. You can't have one without the other. If you say you're an entrepreneur, then you're hustling. You're hustling more than anyone that works for, let's just say, a company.
When you're talking about your business owner hat, what are some things that you think are really, really important for any entrepreneur to focus on as it relates to the business side of things?
I treat folks the way I would want to be treated.
Okay.
Every job I've ever had to deal with service. So whether it was being a busser, whether a waiter, whether working at a gas station, Old Navy, whatever it may be, it's always had to do with service. And I always learned something from everywhere I've worked. So I treat folks and I try to give excellent customer service. Like I'm a stickler on that. If you give me a call, I miss your call, I'm calling you back within 5 minutes. It has to be within 5 minutes. if you leave me a message, you're getting a return call that very same day. My thing is, I have to treat folks the way I would want to be treated, and that's how I would want to be treated. Perfection.
What about you, Raquel?
Ask the question again.
I'm sorry. I
got so caught up. No, it was a great answer. I'm like, oh my God, what's my
What part of the business side that you think any new entrepreneurs should focus on? Like, what is the most important?
Consistency. And I guess that goes with Sean too. I mean, you want to be consistent with getting back to your clients. You want to consistently do well and perform at your best and be at your best.
What is one piece of advice that you would like to give to any entrepreneur, whether it be they're starting their own, film production, or they're starting their own clothing line? Like, what is some advice that you would give to an entrepreneur just overall?
I think overall, know yourself, know your brand, because if you want to put yourself out there and start your own business, and let's be clear, I don't have my own business, but I have sort of a practice within a practice. Yeah. I think that if you don't know yourself and you're trying to market something, what are you marketing? You don't even know yourself. So know yourself, know your brand, and know what it is that you want to put out there.
Okay. For me, would be what motivates you, because you're going to have those Sundays where you're like, oh my goodness, okay, I have this coming up, I have this deadline. I mean,
Sunday scaries.
It's the Sunday scaries. Like, even it could be a whole week scary where you're like, I have back-to-back deadlines, and I have to go to court and do this and do that. But you always have to find what motivates you. For me personally is, again, I'm Nigerian, and I have to go home every year to get my motivation. And I say that
when you say go home, you go back to Nigeria.
Go back to Nigeria every year to get my motivation. Wow. And what motivates me is seeing other folks that literally could be me. I literally just walk in the marketplace and see. And one thing that I noticed that was consistent with everyone that I walked around in the marketplace was their eyes, the color of their eyes, the yellow. They had yellow. But it wasn't yellow as in, okay, then maybe they just didn't have enough sleep. It was hunger. Like that grind that I would literally kill to be in your position right now. Wow. So that's my constant motivation. I actually have nightmares about that sometimes, where I call it the yellow in their eyes, where it literally wakes me up in the middle of the night. I'm like, okay, that would kill to be in my position right now. So I can't complain about I have this deadline or I have that deadline. I better grind and get it done.
We spent a lot of time reading, in law school, different cases, different case law. But I think a lot of times, people who want to start their own business, they forget the knowledge acquisition on the business side. Yeah. So my advice would be read as many books as you can on different aspects of business, whether it be about managing, whether it be about marketing, whether it be about sales, but constantly, educate yourself on the aspect of business. And there's so many books out there.
Matter of fact, I actually took that advice when I transitioned. Prince actually put me on, what's it called, Entree Leadership.
Entree Leadership.
Yeah, I listen to that podcast now. And now the book that I'm actually reading right now is Being a Rainmaker.
Yeah.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, so that's a good book. I strongly suggest that. But you're right about that. I literally took that advice that you're giving when I said I was going to transition. That's one thing you did tell me.
Managing people deals with a lot of leadership skills. So first of all, knowing how to communicate effectively, with people. As we all know, there's a lot of attorneys that are just assholes. They don't know how to communicate with each other, or let alone their employees. You're right. So just being able to effectively communicate, with your employees, and just kind of letting them know that they are a part of the team. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am now. They do a lot of the work. Without them, I wouldn't get anything done. So just constantly reminding them that they're valued, and just really just kind of focusing on leadership skills. So now I purposely read books dealing with leadership because it's important. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll get people who don't want to work for you, and that's an issue too. So it's been definitely a lot of skill sets that I'm learning, but I enjoy the constant learning, the constant grind. That's why I'm still doing it. Yeah.
Well, should we do a toast?
Yeah, let's do a toast. So
what are we toasting to?
Yeah, what are we toasting to?
I say let's toast to the hustle.
Let's toast to the hustle. I like that. You're always coming up with great ideas. I like that.
Thanks, guys.
The hustle.
The hustle.
Cheers.
Cheers.